Hey guys, what's up? Sermo11 here with another discussion. Today's discussion will be manga versus comic books. Wow, I get this a lot at school. Um, I'm not saying the anime and manga kids in my school are weird, but they are. They're those kids who some of you may call hardcore otaku or something like that. They cosplay and get laughed at. They say stuff in Japanese and get laughed at. Stuff like that. I try not to associate with those people. I'm a big fan of anime and manga, or manga, however you want me to say it. But there's a point in which people take it too far. But back to the main topic, back to what I was saying. At school, I get this often if I'm ever reading manga there. People just call it comics. While it is technically a comic, I like the term manga because it separates the two, and I think there should be a separation between the two, manga and comics. I will start this video off with my opinion on manga and comics. I did this before, but hopefully this video has a better structure. Um, Back then, I think this was either last year or 2 years ago, I don't really think my videos were as good, and I still don't think my videos are as good, but I feel like they're getting better. So, manga is usually read from right to left. The art style is usually pretty good. I can't speak for all mangas, but with the ones I've read or just seen, I can say. So the story is usually not all over the place. These are comparisons to comics, by the way. I think the art style overall for manga is better than comics. Don't get me wrong, there are some good comics out there. I just like manga more. In manga, there's usually only one person doing the writing. Um, you know, like, let me see, Death Note, Bakuman, you have one guy doing the writing and one guy doing the art. And like a series with Naruto or One Piece, you have one guy doing the art and the writing. But so far, am I coming off a little biased? Like, just a little bit? Anyways, moving on to the comics. For me, I think I've seen a lot of comics that try to capture that realistic style of drawing. The art styles usually aren't that interesting. This is not stopping me from reading it, but it's a bump in the road. It's not, like, basically what I'm saying is, it's not a big deal, but sometimes it is. I was reading the Mega Man comic books, but I got behind on them and I just gave up on reading them. I didn't really enjoy them that much. They were okay. They went really quick. I'm not like an amazing writer, but from a writer's perspective, even though like in manga and comics that you have to the lines have to be shorter. You can't like have a character talking like a whole paragraph in one speech bubble, but they need to take the story slower. I think Mega Man was beating like his enemies in like one page. And so back to what I was saying, I didn't feel like hunting the issues down, and I didn't even know the release schedule. That's another thing. Comic books take a lot more hunting down than manga. I could go to a bookstore right now and pick up volume 1 of Naruto if I wanted to. The shops I go to don't have comic books available from issue 1. You have to look more if you actually want to get into it or keep up with it. My friend got me into the Injustice comics, and I have 2 of them so far. I read the first one. I thought it was pretty good. I didn't have any major problems with the art style. Plus, these are characters that I already know, and the story was pretty good. I'm not sure if the game looks that amazing, but I don't have a system to support it anyways. I would just prefer if comics got the treatment that manga got. Take the series and animate it, usually keeping to the story strictly, but it's like they never can do that. I just want them to start from issue 1 and just animate it. That's never going to happen. I don't read many comics, but I enjoy the shows. Young Justice Invasion is really good. Heck, it was my favorite cartoon from last year. Also, the movies are pretty good. You know, I'm talking about like DC and Marvel. I want to pick up some of the animated Batman movies. Spectacular Spider-Man was also a really nice TV series, and the new one with Drake Bell, the new Spider-Man series, it isn't that good. It's not because of Drake Bell, because I like Drake Bell. He is a great actor on Drake and Josh. It's just because of the format. The show is too comedic at times, and I don't really like the idea of a team with Peter Parker. I'm at the age where even if I don't like cursing and bad language, I have to encounter it. I guess I have no problem reading it in manga or comics, but we need ratings. I know a few mangas do it, but comic books don't need it. I think comic books need it too. I know comics contain like sexual content sometimes, but I don't want to read that. I would hope that it's like wrapped up or something, so I would know before making my decision to buy it or not. As I was talking, what I was talking about earlier with the Mega Man comics, comic books are too short. If they collected all of it into a book, I think it would be easier to buy. Avatar: The Last Airbender has a comic expanding on secrets in the series, and it's pretty long. I'm not too sure if they put it all into one book, but I saw a big book at this comic book store, and it was like an actual comic book store, not Barnes and Noble. And why can't other comics use this format? You know, have more content in one book or issue. Also, the big thing I dislike about comics is that anyone can take over and do whatever they want to the story. If I was someone like Stan Lee, I wouldn't want that to happen. You know, I've created all these great series, and I feel as if after I stop working on it, the story should end there. Like, how would you feel if someone, you know, if Naruto just ended, and then someone came in and picked it up, and, you know, they just gave him, like, lightsabers or something, or, you know, they just took the series to the future. I don't know, stuff like this happens in comics. You know, you have these weird spin-offs. I'm not sure how long Stan Lee was working on Spider-Man, but in my opinion, if it's not the original creator's story, then it's just like fan art that's being published officially. I know some famous moments in comic book history haven't even been by the original creators. I believe these events that I'm about to say aren't by the original creators, like Bane breaking Batman's back, or even the death of Superman. I can't totally down comics. Have you seen CodeProvider's video? I believe this is a while ago I watched this video. I'm pretty sure it was last year. I think it was something on the lines of American comics have actually helped manga, even though manga is still better. That the last part is my opinion, but some of the techniques were adapted from comics. I believe speed lines was a technique that was originally in American comics. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, because the title of the video kind of contradicts what I say, but I haven't really checked on the video. Anyways, CodeProvider's video is called Manga's Influence on American Comics. Now, at this point, I will tell you some of the things that I've researched on the topic of manga versus comics. Some of this is the same stuff that I've been saying, and some of it is different. Manga is easier to jump into. Comic book storylines are all over the place. Manga has a wide variety of categories, while comics are more than likely about a superhero. Manga is easier to buy as it is at bookstores rather than having to go to a specific comic book store. The story is more consistent in manga as there is only one writer. Comics can contradict themselves with different writers. You can also check out my old video. It's pretty bad and my voice wasn't as deep back then, but it's called Comic Books versus Manga, Serma 11. Yeah. Anyways, that's all I have to say on the subject. Please leave your comments and complaints below. I shall read and delete them accordingly. Check out some of my favorite YouTubers by visiting my channel, going to the right side of the channel, or just looking at the channel comments, because I have like a huge list of my favorite YouTubers there. You can follow me on Facebook. It's Surma11. You can follow me on Twitter. It's at Melvin2898 and at Bad Teen Advice. Also, you can follow me on Instagram. It's Surma11. I post photos and with news and my thoughts there. It's not really that much of a big deal, but if you want to check it out. Thanks for watching and have a good day, guys.